Ghana's Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Joseph Whittal, is urging government to prioritize its newly adored National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights. Ghana is said to become the 5th country in Africa after Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, and Liberia to officially adopt the document, which aligns with United Nations guiding principles on business and human rights. Blessed Soga has more.
As part of ongoing efforts to promote responsible business practices and to enhance national protection against business-related human rights abuses, CHRAJ, in collaboration with the Office of the Attorney General, has finally put together the National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights. The document is in line with the United Nations Working Group recommendation calling for a standalone national standard on business operations and their impact on human rights. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the launch, Commissioner of CHRAJ, Joseph Whittal, explained that the document has sufficient strategies on how to redress business impacts in areas such as mining, which is posing a significant threat to the Ghanaian population.
There are quite a number of gaps in our businesses that require that we close the gaps in the interest of human rights. Examples will suffice here. If we look at the environmental rights of Ghana, we are looking at acquiring gold, money, resources from the forests, from the riverbeds, and regardless of the consequences on human rights. Some of the human rights adverse impacts are already seen and they are in the media. You are the ones who are trumpeting them. Babies are being born with all manner of issues because we have polluted the waters. We have put heavy metals into the system of marine life. So the fish we eat from the rivers that are polluted, we are no longer sure. These are the type of examples that you can use to show the importance of having an action plan that addresses business impacts on the human rights of the people. I urge government, this is about making sure that government puts its money where its mouth is. It's not enough to go and build schools for children. It's not enough to do only one area of the work of government.
With further collaboration with international partners, CHRAJ is hopeful that the National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights will go a long way to create a human rights-friendly environment for businesses and the workforce alike.
On behalf of UNICEF, I would commend the government of Ghana, particularly the Ministry of Justice and the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice for their leadership in guiding this inclusive and forward-looking process.
Now, as Ghana confronts the far-reaching consequences of illegal mining, the Ghana Chamber of Mines is stepping up legal enforcement. A 3-day seminar has been organized to enhance the capacity of judges, prosecutors, and investigators from the Western, North, and Central regions in applying mining laws effectively. Athalia Kwanzaa reports.
Illegal mining continues to ravage Ghana's environment, communities, and water bodies. But the legal response to this national threat is often weakened by gaps in enforcement, understanding of the law, and appropriate sentencing. To address this, the Ghana Chamber of Mines, in collaboration with the Judicial Training Institute, has organized a 3-day seminar for judges, prosecutors, and investigators.
We are in crucial times, with illegal mining activities that continue to ravage our communities. The menace remains, despite the loud voices against it, which has become more sophisticated and on a gangster scale more than ever before.
Justice Tanko Amadu urged stronger alignment with international environmental standards and called for a firm judicial stance.
Given this conceivable consequence confronting us, which has been foisted upon us by a few who have now become an armed cartel, the role of the law and the entire legal community and institutional presence cannot be overemphasized in regulating all mining activities. Security agencies must be mobilized to confront this dangerous enterprise.
CEO of Ghana Chamber of Mines, Dr. Ken Ashbe, says mercury is still being smuggled and used. Law enforcement must treat this with the seriousness it deserves and sanction must be served.
The issue of the Matter Convention has been done long ago. And so the thing about it is that how come we're still getting mercury coming into this country? So it is the reason why our law enforcement agencies, our judiciary, should treat it with the seriousness it deserves because of the debilitating impact of mercury on our human bodies. And so that when they find anybody smuggling it in, when they find anybody using it, the punishment should be commensurate and severe. So it's important that our law enforcement agencies treat it with that seriousness. And also that for our judges, when these cases come before them, they take it very, very seriously. And again, when somebody comes before you with mercury, you should then know that by extension, that person is dealing with a situation of illegal mining.
Participants at the seminar were urged to take away practical tools for improving case adjudication and law enforcement in mining-related offences.
Now, away from that, Minority Leader Alexander Filmarking is facing backlash over remarks he made concerning John Mahama's ministerial nominations. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, he questioned why a Sikado Keten MP, Dr. Grace Ayunsu-Dankwa, was appointed over colleagues like Dr. Zenato Ajiman-Rawlings and other female MPs. Dr. Ayunsu-Dankwa, who was present in the chamber and has been nominated as Deputy Health Minister, strongly objected to the comments, labeling them problematic and calling for them to be expunged from the official records.
Colleague, your name is not even here. We have heard it in the rumor mill that you are going to be facing the appointment committee. And this is what you want to be doing? Your name, when you came to meet Dr. Zenato here, and for the founder, the owner of the party, for some strange reason, it appears your name is coming, and you will not, even they've delayed in the names. You came to meet Helen Tosso.
No, leader.
Mr. Speaker.
Leader.
You came to meet Helen Tosso.
Leader.
And then you want to be writing on a point of order when your leader is on a
leader.
Mr. Speaker,
the angle you are going.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, she has to sit down.
As there's only 14% women in this House, Mr. Speaker, some of the statements he made are also going to be in the hazard. Mr. Speaker, I'm sitting here speaking on behalf of the women.
Honorable Professor, I've given you the floor. Contribute to the statement. That's what
But before I contribute to the statement, Mr. Speaker,
Professor,
I would like to very much have that part of the conversation, of the discussion expunged, because I was being attacked when I had not said a word. I was just standing up and waiting to catch your eye. Mr. Speaker, it makes it very difficult for the women. There's only 14% of us in this House. So when we stand up and we speak, and we are getting veiled threats and also passive-aggressive behaviors towards us, Mr. Speaker, it makes it very, very, very difficult for us women to speak. So, Mr. Speaker, I really respectfully want to put this on the record, that I was unprovoked. I did not provoke that comment, and I also feel that I'm offended by it because I did nothing.
Let's just stay in politics because the MPP's 2024 parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma North, Nana Ekwia-Afriye, says she has rendered an unqualified apology to the leadership of the New Patriotic Party. This comes after she defied the party's directive not to take part in the rerun of the Ablekuma North Parliamentary primary election. Although she declined to say whether she regretted disobeying the party's instructions, she explained that the apology was offered after the matter came up at the party's emergency National Executive Committee meeting. Kenneth Jesse was there and has come through this report.
After defying the MPP's order not to contest the Ablekuma North election rerun, Nana Akua-Afiri says she has formally apologized to the party during its emergency NEC meeting here at Alisa Hotel. The parliamentary candidate indicated that although she defied the party's orders, she is still a member of the New Patriotic Party and thus decided to apologize.
Oh, yes, yes. But then I think all boils down to apology, because that's my party and I'll keep being MPP. And so if we all make mistakes. If your party says you shouldn't run, and I feel that the grassroots like me. But whatever it is, I think the matter is resolved, apology given, and we move on. Definitely that is what every human being would think. That is what every human being would think. And that is rightly so. But then at the end of the day, we see. We'll move on and see. Yes.
Chairman of the Planning Committee of the New Patriotic Party, Joseph Osei Owusu, says the party has accepted Nana Akua-Afiri's apology. Nana Akua just informed us that she apologized to the party. Was her apology taken?
It was taken in good faith, yes. It was taken in good faith. I mean, it was just to ensure that we respect the structures of the party in future.
Joseph Owusu maintained that the party will go ahead and hold its annual delegates conference on the 19th of July 2025 after facing some opposition from leading members of the party to postpone that particular event to a later date.
Well, there was a petition that the date for the conference should be changed. National Council, after considering it, decided that we should continue in view of the preparations we have made, commitments we have done. We should continue with the conference as already announced.
From Alisa Hotel, my name is Kenneth Jesse for Joy News.
Well, government has vowed to hunt down and apprehend perpetrators of violence at the just-ended rerun of the Ablekuma North parliamentary election. More than 5 individuals were assaulted, including 2 journalists, and the hands of masked men as part of violence marred the elections. Interior Minister Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak at a news conference said a special team has been deployed to the scene and is already reviewing videotapes to unmask and track down the culprits. With the upcoming Akwatia by-election and fears that there may be more violent, the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak assured that lessons have been learnt and that security will be more robust.
Well, the interesting thing is that I'm sure this is also a wake-up call for our security agencies to know that if probably what happened could, maybe you could say that it was not an organized thing, it was a spontaneous thing. Whether it was organized, whether it was spontaneous, this gives our security agencies the opportunity to even plan better towards Akwatia. All I can assure the people of Akwatia is that we will use Ablekuma North as a case study to review our operational, how we operate in Akwatia, to make sure that the citizens are free to cast their vote and express their will.
Now, the convener of the campaign against privatization and commercialization of education, CAPCO, Richard Covey, has urged the government to channel the uncapped Get Fund funds towards eliminating schools under trees. He disclosed that over 5,000 schools in the country currently operate in such conditions, whilst over 4,000 exist without junior high schools. Richard Kwashi made this call while speaking at a one-day training workshop for stakeholders in the Upper West region. Joy News' Upper West regional correspondent Rafiq Salam has more from WA.
The campaign against privatization and commercialization of education, CAPCO, in collaboration with Education International, organized a one-day training program for union heads of the Ghana Education Service in the one municipality of the Upper West region. The aim of the program was to ensure that government accelerates the standard of public education through advocacy. CAPCO is an advocacy group within the teacher unions championing issues affecting education delivery in the country. Convener of CAPCO, Richard Kosikovi, noted that over 5,000 schools are under trees, whilst over 4,000 primary schools exist without junior high schools. Richard Kosi urged the government to use uncapped fund funds to eliminate schools under trees in the country.
If we have intentional about eliminating schools under trees, primary schools without junior high schools, within the next 4 or 5 years, we'll be able to eliminate all these schools. But most of the GET fund process, in recent time, we've noticed that even during the time it was capped, and now that it's uncapped, we noticed that it has gone into exhaustible goods, that's school feeding, scholarships, student loans, which are not the primary focus of GET fund. And so we are saying that our advocacy to the new government are saying that the uncapped funds should be channeled to eliminating schools under trees, so we can decide that within the next 4 or 5 years, because it would have cost about 5 billion Ghana cedis to eliminate all the over 5,403 schools under trees.
The National Gender Coordinator of the Teachers Education Workers Union, Theodoro Dede Amano, took participants through a presentation on advocacy strategy from the Teachers Union perspective.
Advocacy is not just talking about the issue, but you should drive something. You should make sure that whatever you are talking about connects emotions and maybe bring the public or whoever that you are communicating to, you make sure that you bring the person close to whatever you are talking about so that you are able to effect change.
Other partners also share their thoughts at the training program.
Being stakeholders, I think we are all worried about our students now. We are no longer talking about ourselves as teachers, because for a very long time now, we've just realized that our work is going down the drain. Having learned this, I'm most sure that when we leave here, we will not just let CAPCO do it alone, but individually, wherever we find ourselves, we'll advocate and ensure that the right thing is done.
Reporting for Dway News, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Well, time for us to do the NSMQ, and the 2025 Eastern Regional Qualifiers of the National Science and Maths Quiz have kicked off on a historic note as two schools, Atefua SHTS and Enum Presby SHS, break through for the very first time to secure slots at both the regional and national levels. Out of 20 contenders, only 7 schools made it through the first hurdle, turning dreams into triumphs and setting the tone for a fierce competition ahead. My colleague Adubia Asari has more in the following report.
As the 2025 National Science and Maths Quiz Eastern Regional Qualifiers kick off on a historic note, 2 schools, Atefua Senior High Technical School and the Enum Presby SHS, have made their debut qualification into both the regional and national championships. Out of 20 schools that battled it out on day 1, 7 secured their spot in the next round. The rest saw their journey end at the very first hurdle. Atefua SHTS and Enum Presby, who in past years walked out of the quiz center disappointed, flipped the scripts this time. And when the final bell rang, both schools had earned their long-awaited glory.
I don't know how to express my excitement. I don't know how to say it. It's like we thought say our school can never make it, but today we're proving to the world that yes, Atefua is a school and we are the Royals.
A Brick Girls Senior High School, represented by a set of twins, claimed the second slot of the day, scoring the highest point of 65.
We decided to rely on God, and we relied on the only person who will never fail us, and that is the result we have achieved.
Presby SHS, to whom their closest contender says the journey isn't over for them just yet. They are already plotting a comeback and had a message for our boogies.
We are going to work on our speed and then how to work actively on the bell, because for realizing the contest, we were leading through round 1 and our colleague girls took over the round 2. That is using the bell to punish us. So we are going to work on how to use the bell effectively.
Because that's what they used to beat us. There's nothing so special about a Brick Girl.
big girls, we've beaten them countless times, so we have to beat them.
Other SHS and Krobo Girls Senior High, after a tightly contested battle, also crossed the qualifying mark with 44 and 45 points respectively. In the final contest of the day, Benkum Senior High wasted no time asserting their dominance, taking an early lead in round 1 and sealing their win with 49 points. But the final throw belonged to Enum Presby SHS. In a heart-stopping moment, they cracked 2 crucial riddles in the last round, pushing their score to 41 points, the qualifying threshold. And just like that, history was made. For some schools, day 1 ended in disappointment, but for others, especially debutants like Atefua SHTS and Enum Presby SHS, it marked the start of a new chapter, proving that determination year after year eventually pays off. For Joy News, I am Adubia Asari.
All right, time for us to do business updates now, and what a way to start than to hit the currency market to see what's happening there. Well, economist Professor Patrick Esuming has stated that Ghana is not out of the wood yet, despite the gains made under the IMF program. He argues some fundamental issues have not been addressed in relation to the long-term structural progress of the Ghanaian economy. Professor Esuming made this comment in response to the IMF's warning that the Ghanaian economy remains exposed to serious risks.
We are clearly not out of the woods. I think the fundamental problems that we have to address, we haven't really addressed them yet. Yes, we've seen substantial progress in terms of the inflation and the exchange rate, as well as the accumulation of reserves. But we know that how this progress has been achieved is not by fundamentally addressing the long-term structural problems with the Ghanaian economy. I think recently we've seen that the 24-hour economy, which is the flagship program of the government, has been passed. Those are the real sector structural measures that we need to improve the economy long term. Until we do those ones, we'll be able to buy some improvement in the macroeconomic indicators, but those are not going to be deep-rooted.
Let's end the business update with what's happening on the commodities market.